Jared out in front, ready to break his man, but here comes a spade. The spade, of course, for Brian.
Now, Brian can win the pot with any spade, any jack. Nothing else will do. Must have help to stay alive.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come to WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Sign up today with this QR code or go to wptglobal.com/YT and use bonus code YT88 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Well, let's take a look at the chip count. Rainer Kempe with a massive chip lead. He's got over 12 million in chips. Brian Altman in second with 4 million. Jared Mahoney and Darryll Fish sitting on just over 2 million apiece. That's what they're playing for. The winner tonight taking home over 450,000 Canadian dollars.
Blinds are 75-150. Jared Mahoney, first to act, ace-4. He likes that hand in a 4-handed poker game, makes a raise, total of 350.
Jared's 32 years old from Abington, Massachusetts, been a pro player for 8 years.
Darryll Fish and Rainer Kempe from Germany out.
Call.
And now Brian Altman with the king-7 of hearts will make this call.
Brian, 26 years old, from Longmeadow, Massachusetts.
And the flop is an ace-8-6. Aces for Jared and a 4 flush for Brian.
We could see some action here. Brian with the nut flush draw. Jared with top pair.
Brian's checked it. And Jared will bet this. 375 to go.
All in.
There you go.
Well, he has gone all in.
Oh.
And Jared's going to make the call with top pair. So Brian looking for some help to eliminate Jared from this tournament.
Jared came in the final table as the short stack, became the chip leader at one point, and now he's down to almost the short stack. He's out in front. Can his hand hold up? Here we go, 3 of clubs on the turn. That's good for Jared, still in front with aces.
Well, we are down to the river. Jared Mahoney will double up if he can dodge a heart.
That's all he's got to do. The 32-year-old of Abington, Massachusetts has to sweat this one. And he survives, Jack of clubs.
He's going to win this pot and double up to stay alive.
This guy is good at all ins. This guy, he learned from Zeno. Zeno taught you well.
Well, there we see 3-time WPT champion Anthony Zeno. We know he's a great player. Vince, he's been coaching Jared Mahoney, so maybe the guy's a great coach too.
Yeah, looks like it. 4 players continue here. Darryll Fish, quick fold. Rainer Kempe.
How much did you double up to?
2, 3, 4.
The chip leader at this point with a 9-10 will raise to 300,000. Brian gonna go out.
Now action back on Jared. He's got an ace-deuce offsuit in the big blind.
He played tennis in high school and college. He was an accountant.
Raise.
Wow.
And now an excellent poker player. He's gonna make this $1 million to go.
He is going to raise the chip leader here, Vince, with an ace-deuce offsuit out of position.
And Rainier makes a nice fold.
Yeah, I just didn't want to jeopardize any chips right now. I don't blame him, Vince.
Darryll Fish this time has to let go at 10-7. Rainer also going away.
Here's Brian Altman.
All in.
In the small blind, he moves all in with a jack-5 offsuit.
Count.
Behind him, Jared with king-6. Says how much is going to be?
Oh.
Well, he has made the call with king high, and it's the best hand. So Jared Mahoney making a good call. Let's see how it works out for him.
Brian Altman, everything turned around. He got a little desperate, and now he's on the ropes.
Brian Altman must win this pot to stay alive, and he's got to outdraw his opponent to do so. Jared about a 3-2 favorite, as the cards lie, to win the pot.
Well, the flop is a 10-8-6, so 6 for Jared.
Nine of spades.
Brian needs to hit a jack to take the lead, or 2 runners to make a straight or a flush.
Jared out in front, ready to break his man, but here comes a spade. The spade, of course, for Brian.
Now Brian can win the pot with any spade, any jack. Nothing else will do. Must have help to stay alive. Brian Altman, his tournament life in jeopardy right now.
Taking a look at the last card. What is it going to be? It's another ace.
Another ace. That is going to do it for Brian Altman. Every time he was in an all-in situation, he lost every one of them. 0 for 4 out tonight in fourth place.
Well, he's a WPT champion. You've got to respect his aggressiveness. Let's go talk to him.
To come in fourth is definitely a little disappointing. It was just a matter of me not making hands and them just having it too often. So I'm okay with everything.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come the WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Sign up today with this QR code or go to wptglobal.com/YT and use bonus code YT88 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Lines are going up to 1 and 200, but you know, Altman's play early on, the moves he made, so impressive. Just wasn't his night, but he's one of the world's best, that's for sure. Followed by Mahoney.
All in.
And an all-in by Darryll Fish.
On a snap call by Rayner with the ace-jack. So Rayner well out in front here. And there you see a lot of the guys on the side rooting for Darryll, their buddy.
Here comes the flop, 7-5-4. That's good for Darryll Fish.
He's hit a 5 on the flop to take the lead. So a great flop for Darryll.
And a king of spades on the turn.
Everybody laughing because Rayner now has a flush draw.
Oh, it sure does.
Rayner has the ace of spades, so he can win the pot with an ace, a jack, or any spade.
Darryl's got to sweat that last card. And it's a very safe 3 of hearts for Darryll Fish.
The fish jumps off the hook. He's swimming back in the water, Vince. He is safe for now. Now, finally, a smile out of Darryll Fish. Nothing's gone right for him at this final table, but anytime you double up, it puts pep in your step.
He's a great player, 4 times at a final table on the WPT, but the championship title has eluded him so far.
Well, Rayner Kempe with the 2 snowmen. He's going to raise it. Makes it 400,000 to go.
Raise.
Jared behind him with ace-8 says raise. He goes to 1.2. Darryll goes out.
All in.
Rayner says all in.
Now what do you do with an ace-8? Jared Mahoney knows his tournament life is on the line. If he gambles this hand and loses it, he's up against the chip leader, just doesn't want to put it all in there right now.
He makes the laydown.
He's got a healthy chip lead over Darryll Fish, who's in 3rd place, and it's 110,000 more. Moving up from 3rd to 2nd place.
Well, this game can disappoint you so fast, just when you get cocky.
Yeah, just talk to Brian Altman about it. Here's a hand for you. 2 kings by Jared Mahoney. So happy he laid that last hand down now.
Saying maybe there's some destiny here.
400,000 to bet. The men raise.
Darryll Fish out.
And Rayner going to make the call.
Jack 8 versus pair of kings.
Well, flop comes 10-10-8. This a flop could get Rayner in trouble. He's flop 2 pair, but Jared with the overpair. And he is now going to bet 500,000. That Rayner's just going to call.
Going to the turn. It is a 7.
So possible straight out there now. Rayner with the gut shot straight draw. He's going to check 2 pair. And Jared is going to fire $1 million this time. Those pink chips, 100,000 each. He bets 10 of them. Can Rayner get away from this hand? He's got 10s and 8s and a gut shot straight draw. Wow, what a laydown there by Rayner Kempe, and a good decision it was, as he was way behind.
Action on Rayner. folds a 6-7.
Raise.
Jared Mahoney with king 4 diamonds will raise. Darryll Fish has a real hand though, pair of 10s. Got the chip lead. And he will move it to 1.6 total.
And Jared quickly gets out of the way. Darryll Fish even says he's evolved as a poker player tremendously over the last couple of years. He's more patient, he's calmer, he's much more focused at the table than he used to be, and it's paying off for him now.
Well, he's into health and yoga and lots of deep thoughts, and so that can't hurt your poker game. All right, moving on. Darryll gets out of the way, and now Rayner with just a 9-3 of diamonds.
All in.
He is going to get fancy with it and push.
Wow.
All in.
What a bold play.
Jared's got queen deuce, but can't play. He goes out. I mean, he could play, but chooses to fold. Nice play by Rayner.
Well, that worked out well for him.
Not waiting for the big hands. You can't do that in three-handed poker game. You got to have moves out here.
Grew up in Germany, now lives in Brighton, England. 26 years old.
He's got Jack 10 here, Mike, and he's going to make it 1.5 to go. Jared out.
All in.
Darryll Fish has picked up the ladies, pair of queens, all in. And a call by Rayner.
Well, he only had $1 million left, Vince.
He's pot committed. He's in there.
Queen, queen, Jack 10.
So here we go. 2 queens versus Jack 10. Darryll Fish, an 84% favorite to win this pot and be playing heads up for the title with a nice chip lead.
Let's see the flop at the king, Jack 6.
Queen.
He likes that flop. Going to the turn.
And a 5 comes off, so we're down to the river. Rayner must catch a Jack or a 10. Nothing else will do for him. Otherwise, he'll be our third place finisher.
Darryll Fish in a great place to knock out the German.
All right, here we go to the river.
It's a 10. Oh, no.
A nightmare draw out against Darryll Fish. Wow. The drawouts we've seen at this final table, Vince, I don't think we've seen droughts like this in the history of the World Poker Tour at a final table.
They're not making it easy, but it's happening. It's still happening.
Well, even though he lost that pot, Darryll Fish still the chip leader. But still, your stomach has got to be doing somersaults. It's like you just got thrown in the dryer and the guy put it on high blast. You're just going around in circles right now. Horrible. And how mentally strong do you have to be, Vince, to not go on tilt at some point? All you people at home, I know you're saying, it's not possible this can keep happening. Defies all the laws of probability. You're right. But it's happening.
Darryll is staying with a good attitude, though. I can't believe it. That's what you have to do if you want to be a champion.
Darryll Fish had one guy all in where he had hard heart to stay alive. He did it. He had the next guy all in when he had 2 queens against a Jack 10.
This is ridiculous. I can't believe what we're seeing at this final table tonight. Now, Jared, this time with Ace 6 of clubs.
And he makes the men raise after some thought.
Darryll with a well-deserved break goes out, and now Rayner with a 9-7 of diamonds.
All in.
Oh, he's going to push with it.
Bold play. Both these players have just over $5 million in chips.
Rayner trying to muscle him out.
Out.
Well, it's going to cost him about $4.5 million more to make this call, Vince.
Well, Rayner stole one earlier with a nothing hand. He's trying to do it again. Will it work this time? It will not.
Good call.
Jared has made the call. He's out in front with the ace high. If it holds up, we'll be playing heads up for the title. And Jared will have a slight chip lead, but let's see what happens here first. Rayner Kempe moving all in with 9 high. Can he get lucky to stay alive?
The flop is a 9-7 deuce, 2 pair for Rayner. He takes the lead with 2 pair.
Well, Jared does have the nut flush draw with 2 clubs out there. But still, Darryll Fish just can't believe it. He sees the worst hand winning pot after pot
Going
here.
to the turn, will it be a club? It is a club.
It's a club, but it's still not over. Rayner can make a full house and win the pot. Needs to catch a 9 or a 7. And from what we've seen, it wouldn't shock me.
Well, it's a 5 of clubs. He's done.
That's going to do it. for Rainer Kempe. He is going to be out in third place. But Vince, all you can do is salute all three of these guys for the battle they put on here tonight at this final table.
He'll take home 195,000 Canadian cash.
Tired of sitting down at a poker table filled with pros? Then come the WPT Global, the online home of the World Poker Tour. With a maximum of 2 pros at each table, everyone has a chance to win. We are leveling the playing field at WPT Global. Sign up today with this QR code or go to wptglobal.com/YT and use bonus code YT88 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Well, there you see the chip counts as we start heads-up play. Jared Mahoney out in front with 11.8 million. Darryll Fish starting with 9 million.
The antes are up to 50,000. Blinds 153. Very expensive. Action on Jared.
Raise.
He's going to raise it with a 6-4 offsuit, a min raise to 600,000.
Darryll with a 5-6 suited connector. Makes the call, no raise. And here we go with the flop.
Yeah, flop queen, jack, deuce. No help to either player. Darryll's going to check, and here comes the continuation bet by Jared.
$500,000 bet.
And Darryll can't stand it. He's going to give it up. So Jared taking down that pot. And Vince, that shows you the importance of raising on the button, even with a junk hand if you play it. You get the last bet in before the flop. You make the continuation bet. You win a lot of pots that way.
Seems so easy. Great to win when you have 6 high. Steal the pot. That's what poker's all about. Jared's going to raise with an ace-6 of clubs this time. Makes it 600,000. Darryll Fish calling with king-9.
And a good flop for Darryll as it comes king 8-6. He's out in front with top pair. Jared's got bottom pair, and it goes check, check.
5 of clubs on the turn.
So after checking the flop, with the intent to check raise, I'm sure, Darryll is now going to bet on the turn. 700,000.
He's going to get action. Jared's calling this. Down to the river we go.
Now the board pairs 8.
So it gives 2 pair for Jared. Darryll Fish, of course, with the higher 2 pair. Darryll not afraid. Going to stick out another bet. Close to 1.3.
Well, Jared in a tough spot now. He knows all he can beat's a bluff, but good chance that Darryll could have it with the texture of this board. So he's going to make the call. So Darryll Fish takes over the chip lead.
Darryll Fish has made the final table 4 times. Will he become a champion tonight? We will see. We're coming back for more on the World Poker Tour.
Raise.
And we got a raise by Jared Mahoney.
Yeah, makes the min raise to 800,000.
Antes are 50,000. Blinds are up to 2 and 4. And to Darryll Fish, who has just a jack deuce.
Darryll going to make the call here. So we're going to have a flop. King 5 versus jack deuce. The flop comes ace 7-4 with 2 diamonds. Darryll has flopped a flush draw and checks.
Yeah, Jerry gets none of that.
He's going to make a continuation bet of 700,000. 1.7 million in the pot. Now let's see how Darryll's going to play it.
Well, the Fish is going to take the bait, makes the call. Going to the turn. Will Darryll hit his diamond? Not there. 10 of spades.
Darryll checks. Let's see if Jared will fire a second shell. He does not. He checks also.
Going to the river, and it is a 9 of diamonds. That gives a flush.
Diamonds comes off. A great card for Darryll Fish. He's got the flush. The question is, how do you play it? Now, Vince, he takes his time before he acts here. Doesn't rush anything, especially at this critical stage of the tournament. Little mistakes could cost you a title right now. Looks like he's going to bet for sure, Vince. He's cutting out chips. And here's the number he's come up with. Looks like about 1.7 million. And obviously, Jared with no hand just folds.
Yeah, he's going to run away. Darryll's going to take the pot.
So Darryll Fish taking that pot to extend his chip lead. Looking for his first WPT title. This is his 4th WPT final table appearance. Can he cross the finish line and grab the belt to win this championship?
Action on Jared. He's got a pretty solid king-queen.
He's going to raise it here on the button. Makes it 800,000 to go.
Darryll Fish with a king-5 will stick around. So king-queen versus king-5, and the flop is a king-7-6.
Now this could get Darryll Fish in serious trouble. Both opponents have flop top pair. Darryll is out-kicked. Just hard to get away from top pair playing heads-up poker.
And Jared has bet 700,000. Darryll calling this. Needs a lot of help here. This could get costly. Turn card is a 7, pairs the board.
Now Darryl's going to check. And Jared might be fearful that Darryll made 3 7s on the turn. So he also checks. Now the 9 of spade comes off. So now possible straight, possible flush out there. Now Darryll checks again, and with that check, Jared feels like his kings up are the best hand, so he is going to make a wager here, 1.5 million. And it's just hard to get away from kings up here, I think. His opponent checked on the turn. You thought he'd have bet kings on the turn. He didn't.
He makes the call. He kept the pot size down. You paid that off, but could have been a lot worse.
Can't blame him for calling the way that hand was played. With that pot, Jared Mahoney takes over the chip lead in this heads-up battle. And you have to respect both of these guys. They conduct themselves well at the table. They don't whine, they don't moan. They take a beat, they just move on and play.
Darryll Fish calling. Jared with a 0-3 deuce of clubs.
Well, happy to see a flop.
It's an 8 ace 5.
Well, Jared with a gut shot straight draw checks. Darryll with 2 8s. Have to feel like that's the best hand. You'd think for sure your opponent would have raised you if he had an ace in his hand. So Darryll bets 400,000. But look at this, the check raise by Jared Mahoney here with just a wheel draw. Darryll just not buying he's got an ace, Vince, because he didn't raise before the flop. Makes the call.
Astute call by Darryll Fish. Big pot brewing and a jack of hearts on the turn. That's going to slow down Jared. He checks. Darryll checks behind him. River card.
Well, 10 comes off. Now, Jared knows the only way he can win this pot is to bluff at it. He can't beat any 2 cards that Darryll might have.
He's got 3 deuce in his hand, but he's going to make a solid bet of 1.5 million.
About half the size of the pot. Now, Vince, Darryll didn't believe he had an ace in his hand before. The guy checked on the turn. Could he have a 6-7 here? Wow, I'm surprised Darryll laid that hand down, Vince. I think if he loses this tournament, he'll look back at that pot and he'll say, you know, I should have called him with the 2 8s there. How could the jack and 10 would have helped that guy? It might have made him 2 pair, but sometimes you just have to look him up.
Blinds are going up to 250, 500 right now. Ace king here for Jared, getting the goods. Starting to get a nice rush going. He's going to make it $1 million to go. Min raise. Darryll Fish with an ace as well, but
oh boy.
Worst kicker, of course, with a deuce.
Look how things have turned around. Jared bluffed the last pot and won it.
All in.
All in. Call.
Now he's picked up ace king against ace deuce, and they're both all in. Darryll Fish is at risk.
Deuce. We need 2.
Darryll wants to hear some quacking going on here. If not, it's over. Jared Mahoney's dream of winning the WPT title is right here on the line. If the ace-king holds up against the ace-deuce, he'll be our champion.
And here's the flop. It's an ace, 8-7. They both flop aces. Darryll Fish in a lot of trouble with the worst kicker, of course.
Well, they could split the pot if it come ace-8, 8-8, 7-7.
Going to the turn. It's not a deuce. It's a 6 of clubs.
We are down to the river. Darryll Fish must catch a deuce on the river. Otherwise, he will be our runner-up.
He will be out, he'll be gone, he'll be swimming with the fishes, and it's over, 5 of clubs.
So Jared Mahoney's dream of capturing a WPT title comes true tonight.
Well, Jared Mahoney came in as the short stack. He is now the champion.
taking home huge dollars. What an effort by him.
I would be an absolute not to feel amazing right now. I got second out of 700 people. I mean, of course I wanted to win. It's a little disappointing to get so close and taste it a few times, but I mean, life is great. I got second, won a lot of money. It's, you know, it's certainly a really good day.
And now let's talk to the WPT Montreal champion from Abington, Massachusetts, Jared Mahoney. You came to this final table in last chip position. You went on to win the title. That's been done very few times in the history of the WPT. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Feel ecstatic. Pretty amazing experience. Had a great time.
Congratulations to you. In addition to over $400,000 in cash, you also get a beautiful Hublot watch to commemorate your victory. And then you get your name etched on the WPT Champions Cup, which provides you an entry into the season-ending WPT Tournament of Champions. One more time, let's hear it for WPT Montreal champion, Jared Mahoney. Congratulations.